Jerry and Beth are going on a romantic Titanic-themed getaway. Jerry's stoked. Beth, slightly less. Everyone be good, she says, or no more adventures.
Not one thing out of place.
Well, they're all aboard the boat train. Might as well enjoy the ride. Summer takes the opportunity to throw a party, to be cool. Rick takes the opportunity to throw a party.
I'm having a party, bitch!
To get
Riggedy wrecked, son!
aboard the RMS No Floaty Boaty. Jerry wonders whether the ship really is as doomed as its reputation lets on. The captain assures him that this is most definitely a one-way trip to Davy Jones's locker. Jerry wants to go to the bow. Beth would rather bow out, so she bails and leaves Jerry with this Lucy lady, who loves it. Iceberg ahead. There's a bit of a problem here. They missed. The party begins.
I love watching Bukkake.
Rick's good friend, Bird Person, shows up. Sorry, wrong footage. Rick invites him in and tells him to get busy. Getting busy.
It's time to get your beak wet tonight, playa.
Rick's other good friend, Squanchy, appears and squanches off to find a good squanching spot. Jessica drops in.
What are you doing standing here, Morty? Go, talk to her.
Summer tries to distance herself from her uncool friends. Rick reminds her that everyone should be welcome. Well, except Abe Rodolph Linkler.
Great.
Jessica's boyfriend picks a fight with him, egged on by Rick.
Kick his ass! Kick his ass! Kick his ass!
Jessica leaves in disgust. Morty goes to comfort her and show her some cool sci-fi stuff.
It's beautiful.
But they're distracted by Squanchy.
I'm squatching in here!
Bad, interdimensional things happen. But the party keeps bouncing. Rick sends Morty, Linkler, and Summer's uncool friend off to pick up some sort of science crystals. They find them, plus some wildlife.
Prepare to be emancipated from your own inferior genes.
Linkler can't lie to them. His struggle is over. His brave sacrifice means Rick can start tripping balls and bust some dope moves.
It's the Rick Dance.
Rick reveals that he's been able to get them home whenever he likes. Morty insists he do it right now.
Boo!
Boo! You suck, whatever your name is.
After party at Squanchy's. Not for Summer. Not after the way she treated her uncool friend.
Summer, you're a bad person.
Bird Person tells Morty how, in bird people language, Rick's seemingly nonsense catchphrase means he's hurting real bad. He also points out that if he's as done with Rick's shit as he thinks he is, this is the perfect opportunity for this sci-fi lunacy they keep finding themselves in to be wrapped up forever. Hell, it might even be better for him that way. Jerry's immersion is ruined. He's led down to the cargo hold. Lucy suggests he draw her like one of his French girls. She isn't asking.
Then you're going to fuck me in that car over there.
Drawing complete, or near enough, Lucy makes her move. With a few well-placed words, Beth intervenes. They head home.
I'm not going to fit. Beth, listen to me. You're going to get out of here.
Morty shakes Rick out of his hangover real quick. With mere seconds to spare, he freezes time for everyone but them. They start putting the house back together. No rush. Plenty of time for fun stuff too. And through it all, Rick feels totally at peace. Enough, in fact, to coin a new catchphrase.
I don't give a fuck!
And that's your lot for Season 1. The writers of Rick and Morty set out to make one of the most staggeringly ambitious concepts for a TV show that I've seen in a long time, and by and large, they succeeded magnificently. It's somehow at the same time mind-expanding and lowbrow, high concept and off-the-cuff, far-reaching and grounded in the all-too-human, and at all times very, very funny. Their goal was to create a show that challenges authority, not just through the specific examples they play with, but in any form, and I do mean any form. It riffs hard on all the classics and subverts them into something gloriously new. They pick something familiar, choose an angle, and then keep ramping it up higher and higher until we look back down and find we're way, way out there. The execution of such is right up there with the best of the likes of Futurama, but turns far harder into the dark, the grotesque, the perverse. I love it. I mentioned in the last episode how Rick, through his unparalleled smarts, is able to overcome any system that arrays itself against him. VR scammers, the intergalactic authorities, Satan, even his own alternate selves. Wrecking them all is part and parcel of doing all the other wondrous things he drives himself to do. But in gaining so much, it's clear he's lost an awful lot as well. He dives deep into every vice known to man and alien alike, and they all take their toll. Worse, in being able to overcome anyone and anything that exists in his path, he becomes profoundly unattached to the world around him, and those in it. At any point, he may develop a manic, all-consuming focus on achieving his goal of the moment, and if achieving it ends up hurting a lot of people, well, that's just too bad. The hurt is hardly reserved just for others either. Even before Bird Person spells it out, it's abundantly clear that Rick is engaged in all manner of self-destructive behavior in order to numb the pain of the consequences that he isn't coping with any better than anyone else. It really does deserve to be reiterated what a prize cockbag he is, though.
God, Grandpa, you're such a dick.
He is not by any stretch of the imagination what you'd call a sympathetic character.
Summer, put your burqa on!
That burqa is a human rights violation.
And when Beth, Jerry and Summer lose him from their dimension for good, despite the rest of humanity being turned into horrible genetic abominations, here's how they feel, on balance, about that exchange.
But I'm ashamed to admit, now that they're gone, I'm finally happy.
When he gets his chance to put aside the cares of a multiverse out to get him, though, and focus on the small, human-sized task of fixing up a wrecked house with his grandkids, he's able to set aside that hurt, at least for a while. Being in such a position of unbounded power and possibility is one so totally alien to the normal human experience that nobody could be expected to live that way and remain anything we would consider mentally healthy and stable. This contrast is all the more striking against the rest of his family, who are deeply flawed in their own endearing ways, often to the point of being horrible and likable bastards, but are all the more closely relatable to us mere mortals for it. Narratively, there is a level of grand, overarching plot, still in its early stages as of yet, and the well-focused core narratives of the episode. And in between it all, these nuggets of beautifully weird improv find their way through somehow.
Seems like TV from other dimensions has a somewhat looser feel to it.
Yeah, it's got an almost improvisational tone.
I mean, look at this bit. Someone sat down in front of a mic and fired that off right off the top of his head. And then the animators said, yeah, okay, we can make that work. Hell, that entire episode was effectively the same thing, on a larger scale. A timeout from the turning of the universe to revel in some wacky bullshit. Further still, the break to the usual schedule extended even into the real world,
What the hell?
The showrunners released that entire episode ahead of time by chopping the entire thing into short clips and uploading them all to social media. They succeeded in challenging the authority of the very medium they're broadcast through. Bravo! Perfection! Chef's kiss! It's all downhill from here, folks. It's easy to see why this show has attracted the notoriously terrible fanbase of edgy dude bro dickheads and monster-swilling new atheist neckbeards that it has. But to discount the show because of those assholes, or because of its gross-out heavy humour, is to do a disservice to no one but yourself. The big brain thinking and uncomfortable questions you're forced to reckon with if you come here with some honest curiosity is not to be missed. Therefore I rate it 2 Lincolns out of 10 Hitlers. Did you enjoy this video? Then hit all the buttons. I assume some of them do interesting things. Would you like to see Rick and Morty Season 2? Or something else? Please leave a comment. And with that, I'll see you next time.